just going to get on really quick and talk to you about some fraction word problems, okay? Don't get nervous at the word problems. I promise you it's going to be super easy peasy, okay? This week you have been multiplying fractions. The beginning of the week I showed you multiplying fractions with a whole number, and then towards the middle of this week, yesterday, you did multiplying fractions by fractions. So we're going to really quickly just review both of those so you're a little more comfortable with that. And then I'm going to show you how to use that to solve some word problems, okay? Some of the problems that you did earlier this week was a fraction by a whole number. So it may have been something like 1/4 times 2, right? You solve some problems like that, and then all you did was you made that whole number into a fraction by putting a 1 under it. Do you remember that? Remember doing that? Okay. And then you just multiply across. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. And then, of course, we know that 2/4 equals 1/2. Okay, if you put 2/4 as your final, that's fine. I would accept that. But if you can simplify, if you know that you can simplify, do that, please. All right, and that was 1/2. Okay, and then yesterday you saw some problems that maybe looked like this: 2/3 times, I don't know, 1/4. Okay, we did some of those. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 4 is 12. The only difference with these problems is that some of them were just a whole number and you had to make a fraction. Otherwise, they were already in the fraction form. You just had to multiply straight across. Now, I told you that multiplying and dividing fractions is much easier than adding and subtracting because you do not have to find a common denominator. You don't have to multiply the fractions and then add them, okay? All you're doing is you're looking at your numerators, those are your top numbers, and you're multiplying across, and you're looking at your denominators, those bottom numbers, and you're multiplying that across, and that gives you your fraction, your answer. All right, now this one could be simplified. I know that both of those numbers can be divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 would be 1, and 12 divided by 2 would be 6, so that simplified fraction would be 1/6. But if you have 2/12, that's fine, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do this when you have word problems, okay? The only word problems you're going to have today for your work is going to be multiplying fractions, all right? So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to throw in any tricks for you today, not while you're doing this from home. If we were in class, I'd probably trick you. All right. Listen carefully. When you're doing fraction multiplication word problems, sometimes listening to it can get really confusing. So what I just want you to do is I want you to focus on the words, and I want you to kind of visualize that and think about how we can look at that as fractions. I know fractions can be tough, okay? So you guys are doing awesome so far. Just keep on doing what you're doing and don't stress about it, okay? And remember, I am here to help you. If you have any problems with your work on Google, or if you're confused, just let me know. Just send me a message and we can chat. All right, so let's look at this fraction problem, and this is going to be one similar to what you're going to have on your work today. All right, so this one says 2/3 of the bears at the zoo are brown. 1/2 of them are male. What fraction of the zoo's bears are brown males? So now I'm looking at brown bears and the males, which are the boy bears, right? And I want to find out what fraction of them are brown and male. All I'm going to do is multiply those two fractions together. So I'm going to do 2/3 times 1/2. Isn't that what I just showed you in your example? Okay, that's it. That's going to be your answer. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. All right, that can be simplified, but if you have 2/6, I am happy to take that answer. That's it. So 2/6 of those bears are brown males. Okay. We might look at another one that says Mrs. Bryant has to walk 6 miles to Wawa. That would be crazy because there's Wawas on every corner. But if I have to walk 6 miles and I take a break 1/3 of the way, right? How many miles have I walked when I need to take a break? So if I started at 6 and I'm going to multiply that, what did I say, 1/3 by 1/3? What do you have to do to this one? Because this 6 was a whole number. I'm just going to make it a fraction, and by putting a 1 under it, I've now made it into a fraction, okay? 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. I'm looking at that, and I know it's improper, so I have to do my backflip. I have to divide. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Ooh, I'm going to walk 2 miles before I take a break. Whew. That's a long time. All right? That's all you're doing today. You're going to have a couple problems. Some of them are going to be just straight fractions like that multiply. Some of them might have a whole number that you need to make a fraction. All right, there's just a couple problems. I'm going to have you work on Prodigy a little bit today, and then I'm going to have you do this sheet. It'll be on Google Classroom. So try your best. I'll be here to help. When you're done, make sure you type your answers on and you hit turn in so I can make sure I mark it and I grade it. All right, you'll be great. Good luck.